The Quest 3 has finally arrived, and of course, this means it's time for an update to my last video on the best VR headsets. Before we dive in, a few clarifications. My main focus here is on VR beginners, so more specialized VR headsets, like the Beyond, won't be covered in this video. My goal is to showcase the best options in the entertainment sector, rather than their workplace capabilities. And don't worry, I'll try to keep the tech jargon to a minimum. Alright, enough with the preamble. Let's kick things off with the Valve Index. To cut straight to the chase, it's now outdated. Don't get me wrong, as soon as a new version is released, I'll definitely be among the first wanting to get my hands on it. However, with its current low resolution, it just can't keep up anymore. The fact that it doesn't offer standalone VR is the icing on the cake. Suri, thanks to its base stations, it provides better tracking than many other VR headsets. But does that truly justify a price tag of over $1,000? In my opinion, no. Especially for VR newcomers, it's no longer recommendable. Moving on to the HP Reverb G2. To be honest, I can't recommend this headset anymore. There was a time when it could impress with one of the highest resolutions. But now, headsets like the Pico 4 or the Quest 3 deliver better value at a lower price. Another downside is its less than stellar tracking. And if that wasn't enough, the G2 doesn't offer standalone VR either. Sadly, the price hasn't been adjusted downwards. Clearly, in my view, the HP Reverb G2 is no longer a good choice today. Now, a few words about the PlayStation VR 2. The device itself? Excellent. However, there are two things that really bother me, making it potentially less appealing for many. For one, it's not standalone VR capable. That in itself wouldn't be a major issue, but you need a PlayStation 5 to use it at all. And using it with a PC? Unfortunately, that's not possible, which I personally find disappointing. And for two, currently, there are simply too few games for the PlayStation 5 that would genuinely justify the purchase of the PSVR 2. I sincerely hope that changes soon. Nevertheless, if you already have a PlayStation 5 at home and are eagerly awaiting to experience games like Horizon Call of the Mountain or Gran Turismo 7, in VR, then the PSVR 2 is certainly worth considering. Now, let's talk about the Quest 2, currently the best-selling VR headset on the market. What makes this headset so popular? Firstly, it offers both standalone VR and PC VR capabilities, either through USB-C or even wirelessly via Wi-Fi. In terms of resolution, it's still within an acceptable range, but to be honest, the Pico 4 and the Quest 3 have now surpassed it. The tracking? Excellent. So overall, it's a really solid headset. However, I would primarily recommend the Quest 2 nowadays for those on a tight budget, like students or those just starting out, who want to dive into the standalone VR experience. Can you get it for under $250? Then it's certainly worth thinking about. Otherwise, I'd advise you to check out one of the upcoming headsets. The moment has arrived. The Quest 3. I'm telling you right now, this is my recommendation for well over 95% of all future and current VR users. Why? Here are some reasons. The backwards compatibility? Own games from the Quest 2? No worries. You can play them seamlessly on the Quest 3, and, thanks to improved tech, enjoy them in even more stunning graphics. Second, the technology. I promised not to get too technical, but trust me, the increased resolution, the new pancake lenses, and the enhanced processor take the visuals to a level previously known only from PC VR games. A prime example is Red Matter 2. Just look at how breathtaking it appears. For the third, features. The Quest 3 now offers colored pass-through and is being promoted as a mixed reality headset. This might initially sound like a gimmick, but when letting kids play with VR goggles, it's a blessing. Imagine them still being able to see their surroundings while playing with Lego on the living room table. Now, which variant should you buy? The 128GB or the 512GB? For those who plan to play extensively in standalone mode, I definitely recommend the 512GB version. Games are getting more extensive, and it's just tedious to constantly uninstall and reinstall games. For those of you mainly using PC VR or on a tight budget, the 128GB version will certainly suffice. A few additional tips for accessories. Comfort is drastically improved with the Elite strap, so if you're planning on immersing yourself deeply into the VR world, it might be a worthy investment. For connection, if you wish to connect the Quest 3 to your PC, I recommend a high-quality cable, like the one we've linked below. And of course, all products I've mentioned can be found, as always, linked in the video description or comments. Check them out. Now, let's talk about a headset that some of you might not have on your radar, especially since it's currently unavailable in the US, the Pico 4. Let me get straight to the point. When it comes to standalone VR, the Quest 3 is undeniably superior. But brace yourselves. Technically, the Pico 4 holds its ground in many respects against the Quest 3. Sure, some of the Quest 3's features are missing, like mixed reality. And of course, the game selection in the Pico store is nowhere near as extensive as in the Quest store. But here's the kicker. If you're primarily interested in PC VR and looking to save some money, the Pico 4 might be just the ticket. When it comes to PC VR gameplay, you'll barely notice a difference between the Pico 4 and the Quest 3. It truly offers great value for its price in this domain. But let's not sugarcoat things. As of now, the Quest 3 is clearly superior in the standalone VR department. Another challenge facing the Pico 4 is the so-called chicken and egg dilemma. Due to its limited game offerings, there are fewer users, and with fewer users, fewer studios are developing games for it. Many exclusive titles are currently being developed only for the Quest 3. It would indeed be commendable if game developers decided to develop for multiple platforms, not just for the Quest. Time will tell whether the Pico 4 catches up in this regard. So, time for our conclusion. If you're interested in both PC VR and standalone VR, then the Quest 3 is your top pick. However, if you know for sure that you want to exclusively use PC VR and the Pico 4 is available in your country, then the Pico 4 with 128GB of storage might be a budget-friendly alternative. Don't forget, all the links to the products discussed can be found in the video description and the comments. And if you enjoy this content and want to see more of it, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching and see you next time.